3, 2, 1.
Hey MecKidz, it's so good to see you. You're looking great today.
How do you know? I mean, we can't actually see them.
I know MecKidz, and they look great. Anyways, my name is Keely.
And I'm McKenna.
And today we're continuing our series, Focus, and finding out what it means to have faith. Faith is trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see.
We've got a fun game to start us off. All you need is 2 chairs and blindfolds for everyone in your family. Go ahead and pause this video while you go get those supplies.
Okay, are you ready to play? Parents, you might want to get your phones to take pictures and video because it's going to get crazy.
Put the 2 chairs in the center of the room and make sure everyone has a blindfold except one of the parents. We need that parent to not have a blindfold just to make sure everyone stays safe. So go ahead and pause this video and you can play again once everyone has their blindfolds on.
Okay, are your blindfolds on? No peeking. We're gonna play the music and you have to walk all around the room. But when the music stops, you have to find a chair to sit in. If you are not one of the 2 people in a chair, then you're out. You ready? Go.
All right, start walking around. Try not to bump into anything.
No peeking. Hurry, hurry, find a chair. That was so much fun. I love that version of musical chairs.
If you guys took any fun pictures or videos, tag MecKidz and use the hashtag MecKidsAtHome so we can see how much fun you had. And if you want to play another round, feel free to rewind the video and play again and again and again and again and again.
Hey, all that music from the game made me want to sing and dance.
Great idea. Next up, we're going to play a song. During the song, feel free to stand up, dance, sing along, and worship with our worship team crew.
This song is about God and how we all love Him. So make sure that you get up, get loud, and get moving. Let's go.
You're the giver of everything we need. You're the maker of everything we see. You make my heart sing. You make my heart sing. You're the only one who never fails. Even when things change, you never
everybody, I'm Erica, and welcome to my Summer STEAM Lab! Today, I'm challenging myself to some optical illusions. Dizzy yet? And you know what these tricky little eye puzzles require? A whole lot of faith! Faith is trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. So, let's give it a go! Whoa! That is wild! Wanna see? Does it look like the circles are moving? But they aren't! It's a still photo! The way the gray and the black and the white are used makes it look like it's moving. Crazy, right? Do I look like I'm moving? Now, this one is easy. Okay, which of these objects is bigger than the other? Object A. Duh. All right. Wait. Object A. Right? Wait a second. They're the same size. I'm so shocked right now. Okay, sometimes what we think we see is not what's real. And when we discover the truth, it can be shocking. Today's story is all about a guy named Saul who thought he knew it was true, but he was in for a big shock. Let's check it out.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Acts. Chapter 9, verses 1 through 9.
If anyone was set up for the good life, it was Saul of Tarsus.
Greetings.
Though Saul's family was Jewish, he was also born a Roman citizen. Throughout his life, he was known by two different names.
You may call me Saul or Paul.
As a young man, Saul was sent to Jerusalem to study with the famous Rabbi Gamaliel.
Let's see. You have achieved 100% in classical literature, 111% in philosophy, and in ethics, 99%.
Oh, I vow to do better.
Saul became a Pharisee like his father before him. He carefully studied God's law and prayed 3 times a day.
Dear God, help me follow your laws 100% perfectly.
Like the other religious leaders in Jerusalem, though, Saul was caught off guard by the events that surrounded the life and death of Jesus.
Good riddance. Now that fool can't try to overturn God's laws anymore.
Haven't you heard? Jesus' follower says he's returned to life.
They've seen Jesus?
They've seen Jesus.
Those riffraff will slink away soon enough.
Against all odds, the followers of Jesus didn't fade away. In fact, the numbers began to grow.
5,000? You're telling me that 5,000 people are following the way of a dead man?
Well, technically, they think he's alive.
Not helping.
The religious leaders in Jerusalem did everything they could to squash the new movement. They even arrested a leader among the Jesus followers named Stephen. After telling lies about him, they dragged him outside the city.
This man is a disgrace.
Saul stood by and held the coats of the men, who picked up stones and threw them at Stephen, until they killed him.
If Stephen had just let go of this Jesus nonsense, he wouldn't have had to die.
It's terrible. I heard people are following the way of Jesus in other cities too.
What? Inconceivable.
Saul quickly became known for hunting down people who believed in Jesus. When he discovered that some Jews in Damascus were following Jesus, he went straight to the high priest.
This Jesus thing is spreading everywhere.
I'm aware.
They think he's alive.
Hashtag yup.
Someone should do something.
I hope you have something constructive to say.
Give me letters to the synagogues in Damascus so I can arrest all the believers and bring them back here.
Now you're talking.
Saul set off for Damascus with the blessing of the high priest. He traveled with a group of men to arrest the believers they found. After days on the road, they neared the city.
There it is.
We'll make it by lunch.
No, we must take time to pray.
As he did 3 times every day, Saul stopped and turned to Jerusalem to pray, certain God was on his side.
Dear Lord, help me to catch every single one of those despicable Jesus people.
Suddenly, a light more brilliant than the midday sun blazed down around Saul. He staggered, fell to the ground, squeezing his eyes shut against the glare.
Saul, why are you opposing me?
Saul gasped. It felt as though the whole earth shifted beneath him.
Who are you, Lord?
I am Jesus. I am the one you are opposing.
The men around Saul stared in horror and confusion, unable to speak. They could see no one, but heard a sound, perhaps like a roar of thunder.
Now get up and go into the city. There you will be told what you must do.
Saul reeled. He struggled to his feet and finally opened his eyes. He saw nothing, only darkness.
What's happened?
You tell us. We saw the light, and you fell, and this sound, and then you said...
I can't see.
What?
I can't see. I've been blinded.
That's not good. Here, take my hand.
Saul grasped the man's hand and shuffled a few steps forward.
Who are you talking to?
I think it was Jesus.
You heard Jesus?
I heard Jesus.
Saul's companions led him into Damascus, where he stayed at the home of a man named Judas on Straight Street.
Want something to eat?
I'm not hungry.
Or water?
Not thirsty.
For 3 days, Saul wrestled with himself and God. He'd come face to face with the very man he knew was dead, but discovered that Jesus was very much alive. Now blind, Saul was forced to see everything in a brand new light.
Okay, there's supposedly a picture of a dinosaur hidden in this image. Focus. Okay, I'll just have to have faith that there's a dinosaur in this picture because I do not see it. Speaking of, Saul literally couldn't see after his encounter with Jesus, but in a way, he could see better than he ever had before. Anyway, Saul saw everything. And Jesus made a way for everybody to be saved from their sins. After Jesus went back to heaven, he gave his followers the Holy Spirit. And then many more people believed in Jesus too. Saul wanted to stop the Jesus followers, and he really tried. But Jesus wanted Saul to know a better way. You know, it's amazing how God has revealed himself to people all throughout history. Saul, who is also known as Paul, so Saul and Paul are actually Saul Paul, was no exception, and neither are you. Just like God opened Saul's eyes to see the truth, he can open our eyes too. He may not appear to you in a bright light, but God can get your attention in all kinds of ways, like through nature. Or a conversation with a friend. That's really good. I like that. You're so wise. A song on the radio. God can even use your own circumstances to help you know him. And when you focus in and really see Jesus for who he is, the Savior of the world, it can change how you see everything. So that's the one thing to remember today. Knowing Jesus changes the way you see everything. It's like Jesus gives us brand new glasses to see out of. I can't really see out of these ones, but it's a different way to see. So that's exciting. Oh, perfect. Well, that's all I got for this week. Oh, perfect. These coffee beans want to wave goodbye to you. Bye.
Today, we learned that knowing Jesus changes the way you see everything. Remember our game earlier? Remember how hard it was to try to find a chair blindfolded? Imagine how much easier it could be to find that chair with our eyes wide open.
It's the same with life. When we follow Jesus, he opens our eyes and helps us live the best life possible. For example, when you know Jesus, you might see how the things that seem bad right now could actually be used for something good.
In fact, right now, I want you to think of how God could be using this season of quarantine and social distancing for good. Talk with your family about it right now. Let me be clear, COVID-19 is not good. God did not want this to happen. But when you follow Jesus, you'll start to see how he can even use the worst things in our life for good.
This week, we want you to talk with your family about how knowing Jesus changes the way you see everything. To help, we designed this. You can find it on the MEC website, mecklenburg.org, the MEC app, or even from the MecKidz at Home emails that we send you guys every week. There are brand new discussion questions and activities designed to help you guys talk about what we learned today all week long.
Well, that's it from us. Have fun, and we'll see you next week for another episode of
Focus.